Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Charles Sabanson, and welcome you guys to another episode of the DREAMERSPRO show, where we cover everything from sports, hot topics, classic debates, entertainment, and we give you guys the first perspective on things and how we see them. And today we got an excellent show. But before we get into it, please make sure you like the video and subscribe to the channel. So, LeBron not too long ago decided that he wanted to come into the podcasting world, and he started off with that show, Mind the Game, with originally JJ Redick as the head coach. But over some time, we quickly began to realize that that show was just one show based off just narratives and all of that. They were always going to agree with one another. Then JJ got the coaching job, and then all of a sudden, Steve Nash took the job, and that was like when it just turned into just an unstoppable disaster. Steve Nash up there looking like a damn hostage. He doesn't have an opinion. Everything that LeBron says is correct. He doesn't push back. Everything that LeBron says is great. It's just a disgrace of a show. So when we heard the news that Max Kellerman and Rich Paul were going to be doing a show together via Bill Simmons, some of us were like, okay, is this going to be another twerkathon? Well, as it would turn out, it's not. Max Kellerman is very much so an equal on this show. And what he has been doing is he has been pushing back on a lot of the nonsense that other people would not. Had you put somebody else in that seat, he wouldn't have been saying anything, right? So Max Kellerman now, they were talking about, LeBron and all of these things. And he brought up a thing that a lot of us in the independent space spoke about, but nobody in big media spoke. Absolutely nobody. And that was the antic that LeBron pulled off. I forgot the team that they were losing, the Phoenix Suns, where during the game, he's over there fraternizing with the opposing, during the game, laughing with the opposing team while the Lakers are losing. And then to make matters worse, all of the main starters are out of the starting lineup in the fourth quarter. LeBron is sitting on 6 points. Then he just goes out there to try to stat pad to get his 10-point streak, and it was one of the most disgusting things we had ever seen. Like, it was just so disgusting, bro. And even when LeBron was walking off the court, he knew like that was a bozo move. You can look at his face and he knew like, yeah, this ain't it. Well, to my surprise, Max Kellerman brought that point up to Rich Paul. And not only did he bring it up, he was talking about how much of a bozo LeBron was looking like when he did that. And I was like, whoa, okay. Finally, this show is getting some pushback. Now this thing could actually be interesting. But before we even get into Max Kellerman's comments to Rich Paul, today's video is brought to you by our sponsor, PrizePicks. PrizePicks is America's #1 daily fantasy sports with over 10 million members. PrizePicks makes it easy to get real money action on the sports and players you love. You pick more or less on at least 2 for a shot to win up to 100 times your cash. For example, this week I'm really looking forward to some of these upcoming games. This week I'm picking Stephen Curry for more than 29 points. I'm picking Kevin Durant for more than 27 points. I'm picking Giannis Antetokounmpo for more than 12 rebounds. And I'm picking Luka Doncic for more than 8 assists. If you're like me and you like to play it safe, you'll love PrizePicks' new feature, Flex Plays. It's the safest way to play. You can still cash out even if your lineup isn't perfect. Plus, you can double your money even if one of your picks doesn't hit. On top of this, PrizePicks puts their members first, so all withdrawals are fast, safe, and secure. When my picks hit, I can get my money as quick as in 15 minutes. So download the PrizePicks app today and use code CLNS to get $50 instantly when you play $5. That's code CLNS on PrizePicks to get $50 instantly when you play $5. You don't even need to win to receive the $50 bonus. It's guaranteed. And remember, whenever you support this sponsor, you're supporting this channel. Thank you. Okay, excellent. So what we want to do is we want to play the sound for you guys, listen to it carefully, and I'm going to come back and react to what Max had to say to Rich Paul. Take a listen to that there.
That gets to the game the other night, right? It would be hard for me to imagine on a Pat Riley, Eric Spoelstra team, you're getting blown out. Like I'm going back to the streak now of consecutive double-digit scoring games for LeBron. And the streak's on the line, and they're getting blown out. Mm-hmm. Phoenix, right? Was it the Phoenix game? This is already 2 games ago.
Yeah, I didn't watch the game. Okay. But I think it's, yeah.
And JJ Redick is visibly mad. Who, by the way, JJ's done an incredible job coaching this team because through injury to LeBron, to Luka, doesn't matter who it is, they still win.
But do you think they're contenders?
We'll get to that in a second. You mean because playoffs are different than the regular season. But LeBron is joking around with dudes on the Phoenix bench and on the court. And as a fan, before I even see JJ's reaction, I'm thinking, LeBron, what are you doing? That's a bad look. You're getting blown out. And then you're still in the game even though you're getting blown out. And then you take a three to keep the streak alive in a blowout. Man, that's some right? And JJ's pissed. You can see he's pissed. But then in the very next game, I think like that was the fact that JJ handled it this way, and maybe this bodes well for the Lakers and the culture you're talking about. He was clearly not happy with LeBron. And the very next game, with the streak still on the line, LeBron makes the right basketball play and passes it to Hachimura.
Yeah.
And Hachimura buries the shot, and they win the game. And that seemed to be, and then LeBron balled out in his next game. And that seemed to me, you could maybe identify, if this works out for the Lakers and that they at least make a little run in the playoffs, however it ends up, you could identify that moment where JJ is establishing a culture even to LeBron James, and where LeBron makes amends, because it felt to me watching the Phoenix game that he was making amends for the previous game. Not the Phoenix game, the next game, where he's making amends and passing the ball and ending the streak by making the right play to Hachimura, almost to make up for his behavior in the previous game.
Well, I don't know if it's to make up, because I don't think he needs to make up, but I know what you're saying. It's two things. JJ was pissed, right? But this guy had been in the league for 23 years.
Yeah.
He knows if he did something that wasn't right, but those two things aren't the most important thing in that situation. The most important thing in that situation is to be LeBron and be open-minded to do what? Allow yourself to be reprimanded.
That's disciplined. Right.
Yeah. And now, the next game, you make which he got criticized for making that same play to Korver, to Daniel Marshall, to Mo Williams or whoever else, right, for many years. Same play. We can go back and look at the tape.
Right. He didn't want to shoot it. Yeah.
Yeah, same play. I mean, I thought the streak was a little overrated anyway.
Then why is he taking a three at the end of a blowout if it's overrated?
Why is he taking a streak?
It seems like he didn't think it was. This is what it felt like. Rich, from where I'm sitting, you're the right guy to ask about. From where I'm sitting, it felt to me like LeBron realized after that, up. Like he keeps a streak alive. That's whatever, but it's like this very long streak by shooting a three in a blowout at the end of a game. It felt intentional. And the very next game, you're telling me that calculus doesn't occur to him? He's not doing the calculation in his mind like, I got to kind of...
Well, listen, he could reprimand himself, of course.
Right.
Like I said, I wasn't watching that game. I didn't see that game. But yeah, whatever it looked like and felt like, obviously the media talked about it. They didn't talk about the right play, I tell you that. I didn't see the guys that was whatever. But yeah, I think, look, those guys at that level, you know when you did something that probably you
So
you
is it coincidence that JJ does that? He makes the right play the next game, then he goes for what, 29 and whatever it was the other night?
Yeah.
In a win?
I don't know if it's coincidence, but me personally, and he'll tell you this, I always like when he chooses efficiency over entertainment.
Okay, explain.
So you heard what Max Kellerman had to say. First of all, I got to say I'm stunned, right? Because it's one of the few moments you get somebody to go out there and say something that most people thought. Everybody else just twerks it up around the issue. They just, most of these guys, even some of the NBA, they just acted like they didn't even see it. It's like, we're not going to say anything. They just acted like as if they didn't even see it. And Max Kellerman spoke to the millions of people that witnessed that and said, this is ridiculous. But what's even better is that he said it to Rich Paul, and he now tried. And to Rich Paul, to give him some credit, he actually, he acknowledged it. He acknowledged it and said, yeah, like, yes, like it wasn't a good look, right? It wasn't a good look, and maybe he tried to make amends for it. So in that moment, I saw some honest conversation, some candid conversation between these two guys. And if you're telling me that this is the way the show is going to go, where Rich Paul says something, Max Kellerman pushes back and gives an honest opinion on these matters, then I think it'll be a good show. Because now at least you have some balance. Mind the Game is horrible because all you have is LeBron saying things and Steve Nash just sits up there and agrees with every single syllable that he utters out of his mouth. That's not interesting. That's boring. Steve Nash looks like a kiss ass that's just trying to save his job or something. And I'm amazed at how much Steve Nash has debased himself in that show. We don't even get to hear from his basketball acumen. All you hear is what LeBron says, and then he just echoes it, right? That show is not fun to watch whatsoever. But this show looks like it has some promise, right? It looks like it has some promise here. So I'll be very interested to see how they continue to develop it together. But so far, I like the job that Max Kellerman is doing. And I got to give the show a thumbs up. You know, we're seeing a balance. Had it just been one-sided, then I'm like, I'm not watching this crap. But the fact that is, you know, both people are kind of giving their point of views and pushing back on each other respectfully, I like that. I like that. So these are my thoughts. Whatever you guys think, please leave your thoughts and comments in the comment section. We catch you guys on the next show. Peace.